Winter is about to vanish. Not slow down, vanish. And the numbers are shocking. Minus 40-degree wind chills this morning will become 50-degree highs by Wednesday. That's a 90-degree temperature swing in 72 hours. Some locations could see 100-degree swings. And this isn't a brief warm-up. This pattern extends through Christmas and into January. At the 4-minute 45-second mark, I'll reveal why this warm pattern actually increases your severe weather risk, not decreases it. And at 3 minutes 35 seconds, you'll discover the exact date when record heat collides with Arctic air to create the most dangerous weather setup of December. But first, look at what's about to happen to temperatures across America. Today is Monday, December 15th, 2025, day 349 of the year, and a massive warm ridge is building that will dominate weather patterns for the next 2 weeks minimum. The Climate Prediction Center's 8 to 14-day outlook shows much above average temperatures for the vast majority of the United States. Only 2 regions escape the heat, the Pacific Northwest and the Northeast. Everywhere else bakes in December warmth that will shatter records by the dozens, maybe hundreds. Texas will feel like summer, highs in the 80 seconds, maybe touching 90 inches some locations. That's not December weather, that's July weather, and it's coming this week. The Midwest will see temperatures 15 to 25 degrees above average by Tuesday and Wednesday. Cities that are currently frozen solid will hit the 50 seconds and 60 seconds. Some could reach 70 in mid-December. Missouri faces the most extreme warm-up. Current forecast shows temperatures potentially 30 degrees above average on December 18th. If you're experiencing minus 40 wind chills this morning and 50-degree highs Wednesday, you're looking at a 90-degree temperature swing. Some spots could see 100-degree swings. Your body can't adjust to that. Neither can infrastructure. Roads will heave, pipes will burst, power grids will strain. This isn't just uncomfortable, it's destructive. But here's what makes this pattern truly remarkable. It's not stable warmth, it's volatile warmth. Warm air surges in, cold air crashes back, warm air returns, cold air follows. A constant battle. And every time those air masses collide, severe weather erupts. Recent model runs show increased storminess compared to earlier forecasts. Initially, models showed boring zonal flow with steady warmth. Now they're showing periodic shots of cold air punching south. Those cold air intrusions create instability. Instability creates storms. The overall average remains above normal, but the day-to-day variability increases dramatically. This isn't a blowtorch pattern anymore. It's a variable pattern where warm air happens to be slightly stronger than cold air. But both are present. Both are fighting for dominance, and when they clash, you get severe weather, potentially significant severe weather. December 18th stands out as particularly concerning. A 987 millibar low-pressure system develops over the northern plains. That's an intense system for December. Blizzard conditions possible in southern Canada and North Dakota. At the same time, record warmth funnels moisture north from the Gulf of Mexico. Dew points rise, instability builds, and a powerful cold front separates the two air masses. Cold, dry air meets warm, moist air. The result? Thunderstorms. Severe thunderstorms. Across the mid-Mississippi Valley into the Ohio River Valley. On December 18th, low-level jet winds at a few thousand feet will scream at 60 to 70 miles per hour. That creates significant wind shear. Wind shear organizes thunderstorms. Organized thunderstorms produce severe weather. Instability won't be extremely high. Thunderstorm fuel will be limited, but in December, you don't need much. High moisture plus high wind shear equals severe weather potential. Damaging winds become likely. Large hail is possible. Tornadoes can't be ruled out. This isn't ringing alarm bells yet. But it's definitely something developing that requires close monitoring. As we get closer and gather more data, the severe weather threat could increase. Behind the thunderstorms comes snow. Ohio and Indiana could see accumulating snow, December 19th. The Great Lakes region and interior Northeast also in the zone. Warm air, storms, then immediate flip to cold and snow. Classic December setup when patterns are volatile. And immediately after that cold shot, another warm-up builds. More potential record heat flooding into the United States. The cycle continues. Warm, cold, over and over through Christmas and beyond. Now let's talk about Christmas specifically, because the forecast is getting interesting. Christmas morning shows way above average temperatures in the west, but below average in the east. Cold air damming could bring temperatures below normal across the Great Lakes, and even the southeast on Christmas Eve. The northeast looks particularly interesting. There's a decent chance for below average temperatures, and precipitation probability is not zero. A white Christmas could be in store for portions of the Northeast, including Maine. But for the vast majority of Americans, white Christmas odds are dropping. The snowy pattern we've been experiencing every couple days east of the Rockies, in the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and interior Northeast, that pattern is ending. We're moving into a more variable pattern, less consistent snow, more temperature swings. Unless you're in the Northeast or Pacific Northwest higher elevations, white Christmas probability is declining rapidly. It all depends on which side of the cold front you're on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and that won't be clear until we're much closer. Right now we're over 200 hours out. Details will change, but the overall pattern of volatility and warmth remains consistent across models. After Christmas, the warm pattern intensifies. Abnormally warm air continues into late December and early January. No signs of a sustained cold pattern, just brief interruptions in an otherwise mild winter. One of these warm air masses colliding with a cold front will eventually produce a significant, severe weather outbreak with tornadoes. It happens almost every year now. We don't know which system yet, but it's coming. History and pattern recognition tell us it's inevitable. Now, let's dive deeper into the immediate threats. Because while we're talking about warmth next week, we have serious weather happening right now. An atmospheric river is slamming the Pacific Northwest today into tomorrow. And it's dangerous. Mountains could see 3 feet of snow. Coasts face significant flooding. This isn't a minor event. This is a major atmospheric river with serious impacts. The situation escalates rapidly Tuesday night. We'll see a brief lull Tuesday morning. But by evening, precipitation rates intensify dramatically. If you live in Washington or Oregon, you need to be ready. You already have flooding problems. This adds fuel to the fire. Here's what makes this atmospheric river particularly dangerous. It's associated with a cold front. The last one was purely warm. This one starts warm, then crashes cold. Snow levels drop from 6,000 feet to 2,000 feet in a matter of hours. Stevens Pass could see 1 to 2 feet of snow. Higher peaks like Mount Baker could receive 3 feet. And this isn't light fluffy snow. This is heavy, wet, concrete-like snow. It drops fast. It accumulates rapidly. And it causes all kinds of problems. Places that are very warm right now will be frozen over very quickly. Rapid temperature drops. Heavy snow accumulation in short time periods. That combination creates hazardous conditions. Travel becomes impossible. Power lines fail under heavy snow weight. Roofs strain. But the flooding threat remains the primary concern at lower elevations. Rivers are already high from previous atmospheric rivers. Adding more heavy rain pushes them over flood stage. Widespread flooding becomes likely across low-lying areas. If you're near rivers in Washington or Oregon, monitor water levels constantly. Have evacuation plans ready. Don't wait for official orders. If water starts rising, leave early. It's always better to evacuate unnecessarily than to wait too long and get trapped. Wednesday into Thursday brings another atmospheric river. These systems just keep coming. No breaks, no recovery time, just storm after storm pounding the Pacific Northwest. This Wednesday system traverses the Rockies, bringing heavy snow to Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. Then it emerges onto the plains as that 987 millibar low-pressure system we discussed earlier. Blizzard conditions follow. The pattern is relentless for the West Coast. Atmospheric river after atmospheric river through Christmas and likely beyond. The Pacific high-pressure system remains locked in place. The low-pressure trough hugs the coast, and moisture just keeps funneling inland. Flooding will be an ongoing concern through the end of December at minimum, possibly into January. This isn't a one-week problem. This is a multi-week crisis. Now, let me give you the hour-by-hour breakdown for the critical December 18th severe weather setup. Tuesday, December 17th, evening. Warm air surges north from the Gulf. Temperatures climb into the 50 seconds and 60 seconds across the Mississippi and Ohio valleys. Dew points rise into the 50 seconds. Moisture increases. Wednesday, December 18th, 6 a.m. Low-pressure system intensifies over the northern plains. 987 millibars and dropping. Blizzard warnings go up for southern Canada and North Dakota. Heavy snow begins. Wednesday, 9 a.m. Warm air continues pushing north. Temperatures ahead of the cold front reach the 60 seconds and low 70 seconds. Meanwhile, temperatures behind the cold front in the 20 seconds and 30 seconds. A 40-degree temperature difference across 100 miles. Wednesday, noon, low-level jet winds ramp up. 60 to 70 mile-per-hour winds at 3,000 feet create significant wind shear. Atmosphere becomes primed for severe weather. Wednesday, 3 p.m. First thunderstorms fire up across Missouri and Illinois. Storms quickly organize due to strong wind shear. Damaging winds reported. Hail possible in strongest cells. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Severe weather threat peaks. Mid-Mississippi Valley and Ohio River Valley under the gun. Squall line possible. Widespread damaging winds likely. Isolated tornadoes can't be ruled out, especially in warm sector ahead of main line. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Cold front races through. Temperatures crash. What was 65 degrees at 6 p.m. drops to 35 degrees by 10 p.m. 30-degree temperature drop in 4 hours. Thursday, December 19th, 6 a.m. Snow fills in behind the system. Ohio and Indiana wake up to snow. Great Lakes region gets lake effect snow. Interior Northeast sees accumulating snow. Winter returns briefly. Thursday, noon. System moves offshore. Snow winds down. Cold air settles in but doesn't last long. By Friday, another warm-up begins. That 24-hour period from Wednesday morning to Thursday morning represents the highest impact window. Everything changes rapidly. Conditions deteriorate quickly. If you're in the affected areas, stay weather aware every hour. Now let's discuss what this pattern means for different regions over the next 2 weeks. Pacific Northwest. Ongoing atmospheric river events. Heavy mountain snow. Significant flooding at lower elevations. Travel extremely difficult or impossible at times. Power outages likely. This is your new normal through Christmas. Northern Plains. Extreme temperature swings. Blizzard conditions Thursday, December 18th. Then rapid warm-up. Then another cold shot. Volatile conditions. Difficult travel planning. Infrastructure stress. Midwest. Record warmth Tuesday and Wednesday. Severe weather Wednesday evening. Brief cold and snow Thursday. Then warm-up again. Multiple freeze-thaw cycles. Road damage. Water main breaks. Economic disruption. Ohio Valley, same as Midwest. Add higher severe weather risk Wednesday evening. Tornadoes possible. Damaging winds likely. Then transition to snow Thursday morning. Rapid changes require constant weather monitoring. Northeast. Most likely to see white Christmas. Below average temperatures possible Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Precipitation chances exist, but still uncertain. Pattern more favorable than rest of country for traditional winter weather. South. Prolonged warmth. Record highs likely. 80 seconds common. Some locations touching 90. Feels like spring or early summer. Great for outdoor activities. Terrible for winter sports. Heating bills drop. But severe weather risk increases when cold fronts arrive. West. Aside from Pacific Northwest flooding, generally quiet and mild. Above average temperatures. Dry conditions except coastal areas getting atmospheric rivers. Mountain snow good for skiing where it's falling. But overall, winter season disrupted by warmth. At the 20-minute mark, let me address what this pattern means for the rest of winter. We're only halfway through December. Winter officially starts December 21st, but this pattern suggests winter won't really arrive for most Americans this year. At least not the way we traditionally define winter. Cold air remains locked in Canada. Brief intrusions south are possible. We'll see periodic cold shots, but sustained Arctic outbreaks look unlikely through early January at minimum. The warmth extends beyond Christmas. Models show above-average temperatures continuing into late December and early January. No pattern change in sight. Just ongoing mild conditions interrupted occasionally by brief cold periods. For snow lovers, this is disappointing. Ski resorts in the Rockies will have excellent conditions thanks to atmospheric river snow, but resorts elsewhere struggle. Midwest and East Coast resorts may face temporary closures due to warmth and lack of snow. For most people, this is welcome news. Lower heating costs, easier travel conditions, more comfortable outdoor activities. The mild winter has benefits, but volatility creates problems. When temperatures swing 50 to 100 degrees in 72 hours repeatedly, infrastructure suffers. Roads deteriorate, utilities strain, buildings stress. The secondary impacts often cause more disruption than the weather itself. And severe weather risk increases. Every time a strong cold front knifes into warm, moist air, thunderstorms erupt. And when you have thunderstorms in December with 60 to 70 mile-per-hour jet stream winds aloft, you get organized, severe weather. Damaging winds. Large hail, tornadoes. December through February typically sees fewer severe weather events than spring and summer, but in recent years, winter severe weather has increased. Stronger, warm air masses, more moisture available, jet stream positioned favorably for severe weather. This winter looks to continue that trend. Multiple severe weather events likely between now and March. Maybe not December 18th, maybe not the next system, but eventually conditions will align perfectly and we'll see a significant outbreak. The key is staying weather-aware year-round now, not just March through June. Not just hurricane season, year-round, because weather doesn't follow the old rules anymore. Severe weather happens in December, tornadoes occur in January, warmth dominates winter, cold snaps arrive in April and May. Adaptation is necessary, both at personal and community levels. We can't rely on historical patterns anymore. We have to respond to current conditions and emerging patterns. Here's what you need to do over the next 2 weeks. Check weather forecasts daily. Conditions change rapidly. What's forecast today might shift tomorrow. Stay updated. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, prepare for ongoing flooding. Know evacuation routes. Have supplies ready. Monitor river levels constantly. If you're in areas seeing extreme temperature swings, prepare infrastructure. Insulate pipes. Secure outdoor items. Expect power outages when severe weather strikes. If you're traveling for Christmas, build in massive flexibility. Conditions will be volatile. What's clear today might be dangerous tomorrow. Have backup plans. Monitor severe weather outlooks. When the Storm Prediction Center issues outlooks, pay attention. They don't issue them lightly. Have multiple ways to receive weather warnings. NOAA Weather Radio. Smartphone apps. Local TV. When conditions deteriorate rapidly, seconds matter. And look out for each other. Elderly neighbors are most vulnerable during extreme weather swings. Check on them. Offer help. A simple phone call could save a life. The next major forecast update comes Thursday evening after Wednesday's severe weather event. We'll assess how conditions evolved. We'll update Christmas forecasts with better details. And we'll look ahead to the New Year's pattern. There's also potential for another significant weather event around December 27th or 28th. Too early for specifics, but models hint at another strong system. Christmas week might not be quiet despite the warmth. This December is shaping up as one of the most unusual on record, not because any single element is unprecedented, but because the pattern is so volatile and persistent. Extreme warmth, brief cold shots, severe weather in winter, ongoing flooding, record heat. It's all happening simultaneously. This is why weather matters, why forecasts matter, why preparation matters. You can't control the pattern, but you can control your response. Smart responses minimize impacts. Smart responses keep you safe. Check forecasts daily. Adjust plans as conditions change. Help others who need it. And remember that even unusual patterns eventually change. This won't last forever, but it will last through the holidays and likely into January. The comprehensive holiday forecast update drops Thursday evening with detailed Christmas Day predictions, extended severe weather outlook, and analysis of when this warm pattern might finally break. You won't want to miss what's developing as we transition into the heart of winter. Until then, stay weather aware and stay safe.